The Amazon River is not just a river, it's a world. A serpentine empire spanning over 6,400 kilometers, coursing through the lungs of our planet. It is the most complex and dangerous freshwater ecosystem on Earth, a place where evolution didn't just compete, it went to war. In this unforgiving realm, predators reign. But not all killers are created equal. Today, we're not telling bedtime stories. We're diving deep with science. We'll rank the Amazon's deadliest creatures based on verified human fatalities, lethality of attack, likelihood of striking, and the one thing you can't measure, fear. From a shark that swims 2,500 miles upstream, to a snake that could swallow you whole, to an animal that can turn water into a weapon. This countdown ends with the most dangerous creature of all. Welcome to the Amazon's apex. Let the reckoning begin. The Amazon is home to some of the most venomous snakes on Earth, most notably the Bushmaster and the fer de lance. Their bites can melt tissue, shut down organs, and end a life within hours. The fer de lance alone is responsible for more snakebite deaths in South America than any other species. These are not passive reptiles. They're irritable, camouflaged, and deadly. So why are they ranked last? Because unlike the other predators in this countdown, snakes are not river creatures. They may lurk on muddy banks or swim across flooded forest floors, but they are not hunters of the water. Their attacks are defensive, stepped on, surprised, or threatened. Still, an encounter can be fatal. In isolated Amazonian communities, where antivenom is scarce and help is hours or days away, a single bite can turn deadly fast. Their inclusion here isn't about high statistics. It's a warning. Even when you think you're safe on land, you're not. But compared to what's coming next, these serpents are merely a slithering prelude to the true monsters of the river. This is one of the most powerful fish to ever swim the Amazon. Reaching over 10 feet long and weighing nearly 440 pounds, the Arapima is a living relic. With body armor made of interlocking scales tough enough to deflect piranha bites, it's built like a submarine. But it's not the teeth or aggression that make it dangerous. It's the brute force. When threatened or caught in shallow waters, this fish explodes out of the river with a thrash so violent it can knock people out of boats. Fishermen have been knocked unconscious, even drowned, after being struck by an Arapima's head or tail. Its thick skull is like a battering ram, and in panic, it doesn't hold back. Still, it's rare. The Arapima doesn't hunt humans. It doesn't stalk prey. But when it feels trapped, it fights like a beast twice its size. So why is it here? Because even without teeth or venom, it's proof that in the Amazon, size alone can kill. And when a creature this massive panics in close quarters, the river becomes a battlefield. Next up, a fish with vampire fangs. Meet the Parara, better known as the vampire, fish, one of the most nightmarish-looking predators in the Amazon. Its twin spear-like fangs are so long, they pierce through its own upper jaw and slide into special sockets in its skull when it closes its mouth. This is a fish built for impalement. But here's the twist. It's not hunting you. The Parara is a fish killer, not a man-eater. It uses those saber teeth to pierce through the sides of other fish at high speeds, usually in turbulent waters below rapids. It's fast, aggressive, and precise. And while it looks like something straight out of a horror movie, there are no confirmed attacks on humans. So why is it on the list? Because deadliness isn't just about statistics, it's about potential. You don't need to be bitten by a Parara to feel fear. Its appearance alone stirs something primal. If looks could kill, this fish would be a legend. And if it ever did turn on humans, it has the hardware to back it up. Now brace yourself, because next is a creature with a reputation far bigger than its bite. They're the nightmare everyone knows by name. But the truth about red-bellied piranhas is more complicated and far more misunderstood. These iconic carnivores, with their razor-sharp interlocking teeth and crushing bite force, are perfectly equipped to carve through flesh. Yet, most of the time, they don't. Contrary to legend, piranhas are opportunistic scavengers, not frenzied man-eaters. They dine mostly on insects, smaller fish, and even fruit. That terrifying feeding frenzy? It usually happens only during the dry season when food is scarce and waters are low. Do attacks happen? Yes. Especially when humans unknowingly enter breeding grounds or threaten their young. Fingers, toes, and ankles are most often targeted. Single, fast bites that tear flesh, not life. But true fatalities are rare. Still, their deadliness isn't zero. In 2015, a 6-year-old girl tragically drowned and was scavenged by a school of piranhas in Brazil. In that moment, myth and reality blurred. So why do they rank here? Because fear can be powerful, even if it's exaggerated. And when dozens of these fish swarm with speed and teeth, panic becomes its own predator. Next, meet the one predator that kills in coordinated packs, and isn't even a mammal. Don't let the playful face fool you. This is not your average otter. Stretching up to 6 feet long, the giant otter is the apex predator you never saw coming. Sleek, intelligent, and hypersocial, it hunts in coordinated, family units, packs that can number up to 20. Locals call them lobos de rio, river wolves. And for good reason. While a single otter poses little threat to a human, a pack is a different story. These animals are fiercely territorial, and when they feel threatened, they don't back down. They've been observed confronting and even killing black caimans, the most feared predator in the Amazon, and they do it through teamwork. Though attacks on humans are extremely rare, they're not unheard of. Cases from North America show otters can inflict deep bites and serious injuries. In the Amazon, their size, coordination, and lack of fear elevate their threat level far beyond expectations. What makes them dangerous isn't just their bite, it's their brains, their strategy, their numbers. The giant otter reminds us that in the Amazon, deadliness comes in unexpected forms, because sometimes the deadliest threat comes together. Next up, a predator so powerful it crushes turtle shells like paper. Stealth, strength, precision. No animal in the Amazon kills with more brutal efficiency than the jaguar. This isn't just the biggest cat in the Americas, it's the only one that regularly hunts in water. While other big cats avoid it, the jaguar embraces it, stalking prey along riverbanks, diving after fish, and swimming with ease. Its bite is the strongest, pound for pound, of any big cat, capable of piercing skulls and turtle shells in a single crushing blow. Unlike other cats that go for the throat, jaguars go straight for the brain. Its ambushes are silent, sudden, final. While human attacks are rare, they do happen, and they're terrifying. One incident in 2010 involved a jaguar leaping from a ravine onto a boat, locking its jaws onto a teenager's skull. The boy survived, but it was a stark reminder: humans are not off limits. Why is it only at number 5? Because jaguars don't seek us out. They prefer solitude and avoid conflict. But if cornered, threatened, or desperate, they will kill. And when a creature can take down caimans, capybaras, and deer with ease, you'd be wise not to assume you're safe. Next, an animal that kills without laying a finger on you. It doesn't bite, it doesn't claw, it doesn't constrict, but it can still kill you without ever touching you. The electric eel, native to the murky shallows of the Amazon, is a misnamed marvel. It's not an eel at all, but a type of knife fish, and it's armed with something far deadlier than teeth: bioelectricity. Up to 9 feet long and nearly 90% muscle-powered battery. The electric eel can release up to 860 volts in a single pulse. That's 7 times more than a standard wall socket. Enough to immobilize prey, disrupt a human heartbeat, or paralyze a person mid-swim. Its attack is terrifying in 2 phases. First, a full-body shock that sends you into uncontrolled spasms. Then, while you're unable to move, the water does the rest. You drown. Fatalities are rare but real. One man convulsed on the surface after a jolt and never came back up. Another walked away, but with muscle damage and signs of cardiac stress. And just when we thought they couldn't get more dangerous, scientists discovered. They can hunt in packs, unleashing group shocks to stun larger prey. You'll never see it coming. But in the Amazon, the water itself might turn against you. Next, a snake so massive, it could eat you whole. The green anaconda is the heaviest, most massive snake on Earth, at up to 30 feet, long and over 550 pounds. This reptilian titan can swallow creatures as large as caimans, deer, and yes, possibly even humans. Its attack is shockingly fast. It grabs its prey with recurved teeth, then coils its body in an instant. You don't suffocate. You suffer circulatory arrest. Your blood stops flowing. Your heart collapses under pressure. And within seconds, it's over. But here's the catch. There are no verified cases of a wild anaconda eating a human. So why is it ranked so high? Because it absolutely can. Documented attacks on researchers prove that, under the right conditions, the anaconda views humans as potential prey. Its physiology, hunting tactics, and raw strength put it among the only animals on Earth capable of swallowing a person whole. Its deadliness isn't in its body count. It's in the fear it inspires. A predator you may never see until you feel the water tighten around you. Next, a killer that doesn't belong in the Amazon, but owns every river it enters. The bull shark is not a native of the Amazon. It's a marine predator, famous for brutal attacks in coastal waters. But its superpower? Osmoregulation, a rare ability to adapt to fresh water. This lets it invade the heart of the Amazon, undetected. Up to 11 feet long and nearly 700 pounds, the bull shark brings open ocean aggression into murky, shallow rivers. It doesn't just attack. It bumps, then bites, using a snout like a battering ram, before unleashing a saw blade jaw filled with serrated teeth. The result? Massive tissue damage, rapid blood loss, death. Globally, it ranks in the top 3 deadliest sharks, with over 100 confirmed unprovoked attacks on humans. And those are just the ones we know about. In the Amazon, the data is thin, but the threat is real. Fishermen have reported mysterious injuries. Some say it's folklore. Others know better. This predator didn't evolve here. It arrived like a ghost, turning rivers into ambush zones. And that makes it even more dangerous. An alien killer, perfectly adapted to your blind spot. But if the bull shark is number 2, what could possibly be worse? This isn't myth. This isn't theory. This is the only predator in the Amazon with a confirmed body, count higher than any other. The black caiman is the undisputed apex of the Amazon River, up to 20 feet long, with a skull built like a battering ram and a bite. Force over 4,300 newtons, it doesn't just kill, it crushes. It lurks in silence, nearly invisible in black water. At night, only its glowing eyes betray it. By the time you see them, it's already too late. Unlike many predators on this list, the black caiman doesn't just defend territory. It hunts, and it hunts big. Capybaras, monkeys, piranhas, sloths, even jaguars. And yes, humans. Since 2014, over 66 attacks have been recorded, with 19 fatalities. The real number? Likely higher. Remote villages rarely report. Children have been taken. Adults pulled from boats. One biologist had her leg torn off. Why is it number 1? Because it's not just big, or fast, or silent. It's all of that, and proven deadly. No theory, no exaggeration. The black caiman isn't part of Amazon folklore. It is the reason folklore exists. But before you label it a monster, you need to hear what's coming next. So what's the deadliest creature in the Amazon? It's not the one with the biggest teeth, or the highest voltage, or the strongest bite. It's the one we misunderstand the most. Because none of these animals wake up wanting to kill us. They're not villains. They're survivors, evolved to hunt, hide, and rule their domain long before we ever arrived. The real monster isn't the black caiman or the anaconda. It's deforestation, pollution, dams that choke ancient migration routes, mercury from illegal gold mining, climate change. It's us, pushing deeper into their habitat, making deadly encounters more likely than ever before. What we call monsters are simply wild things trying to stay alive. But now you know, the Amazon isn't just a jungle. It's a battleground of biology, and the creatures within it deserve our respect, not our fear. If you made it to the end, drop a name in the comments to show which predator gave you chills. Subscribe for more cinematic deep dives into nature's most feared and misunderstood legends. And remember, sometimes the scariest thing is how little we truly understand.